Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Lamb. Here are some of today's top stories. Now that the Supreme Court struck down race-based preferences for college admissions, universities are weighing in. We'll take a look at just how much the decision impacts the Golden State. Rideshare drivers are protesting San Francisco's proposal to add more autonomous vehicles to city streets. They say the reliance on AI tech is dangerous. Drones are buzzing above Southern California, taking out mosquitoes. A huge spike after a wet spring raises concerns about the diseases they spread. On Thursday, in a historical move that surprised the nation, the Supreme Court struck down race-based preferences for college admissions. Let's turn it to California, known for its large UC and CSU system. But there's a big question. Does the ruling impact California schools? The California State University system is home to 23 campuses, and the state's UC system is home to 10 college campuses, which you may have heard of: UC Berkeley, Davis, and Irvine. The UC president, Dr. Michael Drake, issued a statement on Thursday after the Supreme Court's decision on banning race-based preferences in college admissions. Drake says student diversity remains a top priority for the University of California, one that we will continue to pursue with every tool available to us. Drake, other education leaders, and several officials, including California Attorney General Rob Bonta and Governor Gavin Newsom, were not happy with the Supreme Court's decision. The Supreme Court said that race cannot be a factor in college admissions, calling it unconstitutional. But does this affect California universities? Well, according to Proposition 209, the state already banned race consideration in college admissions in 1996. Since then, University of California has tried to increase diverse student groups by using a comprehensive review process, which considers academic accomplishments in light of life experiences and circumstances, quality of academic performance and improvement, as well as special talents and experiences. To run some numbers, in 2002, years after Prop 209, UC undergraduates' ethnicity rates remain pretty much similar. However, fast forward another 20 years to 2022, the difference is much wider. According to the UC system, Asian graduates decreased from 37 to 32%. Hispanics and Latinos increased from 15 to 22%. Caucasian went from 36 to 22%. And African Americans went from 4 to 4.5%. On the high school level, San Francisco's Lowell High School, one of the top performing public schools on the West Coast, reported a spike in failing grades among students after replacing its academics-based admission system with a lottery for the 2021-2022 school year. Concerned parents said the lottery system was unfair for the hardworking students. The school board decided to go back to merit-based admission in 2022. Also, the Biden administration's plan to alleviate $10,000 to $20,000 of student debt has been struck down by the Supreme Court, which the Secretary of Education wanted to discharge hundreds of billions of dollars to alleviate hardship from loan repayments. David Lamb, NTD News, California. A real-life undercover boss, an executive of the largest food delivery company in the country, is making the stops. NTD's Andrew Thomas has the details.
Andy Fang is Chief Technology Officer and a co-founder of Doordash. Today, he's a delivery man trying to find a restaurant for pickup, but the Doordash app isn't pointing him in the right direction. It's this kind of error that Fang wants to solve.
There was a mistake in the restaurant address, so we had to kind of walk a block and a half to get to the actual restaurant. And then, I think figuring out how to just get to the customer, I think we were fortunate to be able to walk instead of drive there. So now we're on to delivery number 2.
Fang is one of a growing number of executives who occasionally do their employees' hourly work. Starbucks, Uber's, and Lyft's CEOs are others that are trying to understand their employees' perspectives. But on Wednesday afternoon, Fang only made $15.50 for 51 minutes of work.
We also saw that when we were picking up these orders at merchants that there's operational complexities that we had to solve for, and even dropping things off at the customer address, at office complexes or apartment buildings.
Fang says he has made real changes to DoorDash's app based on his experiences, such as fixing a time zone bug.
It's kind of a habit in some ways, it's like I try to do it monthly, and I think you enjoy doing it, and if Stanley or Tony are available, sometimes we'll do it together, but really it's just an opportunity.
Another new feature arose from employee feedback. Dash along the way lets drivers specify where they want to start making deliveries. Then the app assigns them orders that they can complete en route. Andrew Thomas, NTD News.
San Francisco officials are considering a proposal to add 200 more autonomous vehicles on city streets. But as the California Public Utilities Commission begins to review the idea, a group of demonstrators oppose the idea of relying on AI-based transportation.
Taxicab and rideshare drivers gathered outside the California Public Utilities Commission building on June 29th to express their opposition against more autonomous vehicles on the streets.
It's not just about drivers. It's not just about Uber, Lyft, and drivers. It's about all working people. The working people of this country have a right to survive and do their work. And if you're going to introduce technology, it should benefit the working people.
The Public Utilities Commission will decide whether or not to approve the proposed fleet of autonomous vehicles. But the Commission's scheduled Thursday meeting had been pushed back to the end of July at the last minute. Outside, protesters pointed to objections from residents, the police and fire departments, and other public agencies who are concerned about the driverless vehicle's safety and performance on the streets. Just this past Sunday, 2 Waymo robotaxis stopped dead in the middle of busy intersections after seemingly not knowing how to respond to traffic. Protesters also raised concerns of potential job losses if robotaxis become the main mode of transportation.
We're not saying that technology doesn't have a place. We're just saying that the future of workers and the future of work is very important. What's going to happen with all these workers when they're permanently displaced?
Escobar, who hosted the rally, says displaced workers risk ending up on the streets if they have no means of work and income.
If you look at what happened during COVID, that was basically an opening act that's temporary, showing what it means to have no workers anymore. But this is going to be permanent when you have technology. You see, people during COVID, what happened to them? They were going stir crazy at home, and they didn't know how they were going to survive. They didn't know what was going to happen with their business.
He encourages city leaders to listen to the public by discussing short and long-term steps for transitioning into a tech-based transportation industry and plans for displaced workers. Since 2018, San Francisco has been used as a testing ground for these autonomous cars and their AI systems. Recently, SF Mayor London Breed touted the city's technological advances at the AI Forward conference. She told the crowd at the Mosquitoes Center on May 22nd, quote, "Our goal is to make it as easy as possible for you to focus on creating this incredible, innovative thing that's going on that everybody is talking about." Breed added that the city is, quote, "the AI capital of the world."
Recent rainfall in Southern California has led to a huge spike in mosquitoes. Officials in Orange County are trying to battle the insects while protecting endangered species. NTD's Andrew Thomas has more on the problematic pests.
Drones cruise above Southern California's Orange County. Their mission? Eliminate mosquitoes and the diseases they spread to humans. The aircraft drop bits of bait or spray liquid larvicide in marshes, wetlands, large ponds, and parks.
Well, the mosquito larvae are filter feeders, so they feed on the bacteria. It enters their gut and it's a growth regulator. So essentially, if you guys have seen the movie Alien, it blows their stomach up. So that's the best way to describe. Like, it probably hurts a lot too.
Drones offer advantages over traditional methods. They can better detect the insects, and they're more precise, eliminating the need to trample through sensitive lands.
We've done studies where we watch the birds, and we've done the drone, and the birds usually come right back after the drone passes over. So if anything, it's definitely it's better for the environment.
Mosquito-borne diseases have long been recognized as a public health threat, and the concern is rising.
There's a lot of groundwater moving around, flood water or whatnot, that's just sitting underground. It's producing a ton of mosquitoes.
In California, West Nile virus is the most common and serious mosquito-borne disease. The state's public health department has recorded 7,500 human cases and more than 300 deaths over the last 20 years.
You know, it's more of a battle, right? You're not gonna win the war against mosquitoes, but you can gain some ground. And with technology, advancements in technology, we're seeing gaining ground.
West Nile isn't the only threat. Mosquitoes also carry other viruses, including dengue and Zika. Andrew Thomas, NTD News.
Let's take a quick break now, but here's a look at what we have for you when we come back. The LA Metro plans to create its own police force. The agency says they want more control over safety and officer training. A newly listed house is gaining attention for its unique design. People are calling it the West Coast White House. And the holiday weekend is here. We'll share some upcoming fun events for family and friends to enjoy. Those stories and much more coming up on California Today. Welcome back to California Today, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, David Lamb. The Los Angeles Metropolitan Transportation Agency will be moving forward with its plans to create its own police department. The agency is hoping to have better control over training and implementing more effective safety measures.
Last week, the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Agency, or MTA, voted to move forward with a plan that would create its own public safety department. The agency's board of directors voted on June 22nd to have its staff present a comprehensive plan that includes department structure, regulatory rules, job descriptions, and pay ranges.
This is a work in progress. And I think that we have an obligation to get as much information as we can, but also look at how we reconfigure our public safety model, because I don't think what we have necessarily works for everybody or our system.
If the plan is approved, the safety department would supersede existing contracts with the local sheriff's department and police, which are currently responsible for patrolling metro buses, trains, and stations. But one supervisor says there needs to be more detail on the collaboration between current law enforcement and the proposed Metro Police.
I do not view the creation of a new department as a one-to-one replacement of existing armed enforcement. The new department should seamlessly integrate with the work that we are currently doing and have worked really hard to stand up.
According to a study done by the agency, having its own security department would give the agency more control over training and positioning of its officers, allowing for safety measures to be better implemented. Additionally, the study indicated that an in-house department can speed up response times to calls and provide the agency with a better fiscal sustainability. But the agency says the development of the safety force could take between 3 to 5 years, and these changes could potentially lead to increased insurance costs for employees, staffing difficulties, and legal challenges. The board will begin considerations of the proposal in January 2024.
Now, a newly listed California house is gaining attention as a replica White House wannabe out west.
Regardless of what your parents may yell at the dinner table, they don't let just any old yahoo live in the White House. But if you play your cards right, you could move into the next best thing. An estate nicknamed the Western White House is up for sale in California. Built in the 1800s, the home was remodeled in the 1920s to look exactly like the real thing. It even has its own rose garden and Oval Office. Look, the owners don't care whether you're red or blue. They want the green, baby. $38.9 million to be exact. Hey, if you consider the real White House is worth around $400 million, by comparison, this Western wannabe is a swinging good deal. So whether you've been biding your time on buying or waiting to trump the market, home buying hopefuls shouldn't wait to cast their C-note votes for this California candidate.
Should schools notify parents if their child wants to identify as transgender or non-binary? The question has recently been the subject of heated debate nationwide and is now being discussed by a Southern California school board.
In San Bernardino County, the Chino Valley Unified School District is currently considering a proposal that would require school staff to notify parents if their child expresses a desire to identify as transgender or non-binary.
This policy is simple. It's a parental notification policy that covers 3 main points. The policy says that parents should be notified if the student is expressing suicidal intentions, has had any significant physical injury while at school, including verbal or physical altercations, if a student is requesting to be identified or treated as a gender that does not align with the sex that is on the student's birth certificate, or any other official records that accurately state the student's biological sex.
If approved, the policy would conflict with the State Department of Education's current guidance, which directs school districts to consult with the student before disclosing their gender status to parents and guardians. The department also instructs schools to keep records of the student's new gender status filed separately from other documents. Chino Valley Unified School Board President Sonia Shah introduced the proposal at a June 15th board meeting. In a press conference, she says that parents should be informed of all aspects of their child's education.
In Sacramento, we have AB 665, we have AB 957. They're all taking parents out of the picture. I ran for school board because I was one of those parents that didn't want to be taken out of the picture. The reason why I sat here is to give parents a voice. So right now, I'm going to try to give parents a voice and an opportunity to make sure that they are part of their child's education and anything else that the school district or schools want to exit them out of.
In April, the board supported Republican Assemblyman Bill Asaley's Assembly Bill 1314, which would require school staff to notify parents within 3 days if their child identifies as transgender or non-binary. The bill failed after the Democratic Assembly Education Committee chairman refused to consider it.
And I believe the policies we're proposing are common sense, and they're supported by the overwhelming majority of the public and parents. We are not outing anyone. That narrative is completely false. All the policy says is that if the school is going to actively participate in the transitioning of your child by changing their name, their pronouns, and the facilities they use, that the parent has the right to know what's happening with their kids. We know that trans youth are at higher risk for mental health issues, including depression, anxiety, and suicide. Their parents need to know about those risks.
The school board also voted 4-1 to block the LGBT pride flag from being displayed in classrooms. Shaw says that teachers shouldn't have to fly a flag in order for students to feel safe. The new proposal is set for a vote in July.
It's now time to kick off the holiday weekend. If you're still looking for family-friendly events for this 4th of July weekend, there's plenty of fun things to do. Here are some upcoming events in the Golden State.
First up, kick off the 2023 Independence Day season with the biggest summertime sporting event and a post-game fireworks show at the San Jose Earthquakes match against the Los Angeles Galaxy at Stanford Stadium on Saturday, July 1st. The game will start at 7:30 p.m. You will need to purchase a ticket to see the game, but you can watch the largest fireworks show in the Bay Area for free outside the stadium. Next, we have a 5-day-long 4th of July celebration starting on June 30th, Friday in Huntington Beach. The 118-year annual tradition attracts more than 500,000 attendees over 5 days. Experience the grandeur of the largest 4th of July parade west of the Mississippi River. According to organizers, the event will feature a spectacular display of classic and specialty cars, professional floats, military vehicles, marching bands, equestrian units, captivating balloons, still performers, and of course, fireworks at night. For more information, please visit hb4thofjuly.org.
Now, let's check in with NTD's Carlos Reyes for your sports roundup.
We have some exciting scores to go over today. This is your California Sports Roundup, and I'm Carlos Reyes. First up on the list, San Jose Earthquakes forward Cristian Espinoza is amongst the 26 players selected to the 2023 Major League Soccer All-Star roster. Espinoza was personally picked by All-Star head coach and English football legend Wayne Rooney, earning his first trip to the MLS All-Star game after 5 seasons with the Earthquakes, a span that has seen him score 23 goals and dish out an impressive 50 assists across 139 appearances. The 28-year-old has been a driving force in San Jose's strong start this season, recording a career-high 8 goals and adding 6 assists in 20 regular season matches in 2023. He is one of only 9 players in MLS with at least 35 goal contributions since the start of the 2022 season, and only one of 4 with at least 20 assists over the same span. In April, Espinoza led San Jose to a 2-1-2 record that month, tallying 5 goals and 1 assist to earn the MLS Player of the Month honor. He most recently tallied his 50th career assist, ranking him tied for first with Shea Salinas for most assists in club history. What a player. Now switching bases to one of America's favorite pastimes, yes, baseball. JD Martinez had 4 hits, including his 19th home run to highlight a 6-run 4th inning, and the Los Angeles Dodgers came out swinging after the game start was delayed nearly 2 hours by severe weather, beating the Colorado Rockies 14-3 on Thursday night. Martinez continued his blistering batting at Coors Field, extending his hitting streak to 11 games at the park. It seems he's found himself a home away from home. Max Muncy and Freddie Freeman each had a pair of hits and drove in 3 runs. Mookie Betts and Jason Hayward both doubled twice, helping the Dodgers take the series 2-1 while establishing season highs in runs and hits in a game after seeing the field swamped with rain and a coating of hail. That is it for today's sports. Thank you for watching. I'm Carlos Reyes.
Thanks, Carlos. That's all we've got for you tonight. We'd like for you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcast at ntd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Ganjing World, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Lamb. Stay safe, stay healthy. We hope you have a wonderful 4th of July weekend.